Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry Gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 173rd episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net and those legends at Audio Technica. I am your extremely humble host, Brendan White. You can find me just about everywhere at Brendan 8bit. And joining me today, the only person that matters here at the Hungry Gamers, Miss Ellie Hart. You can find her at Miss Ellie Hart. How you doing this morning?
I've got to say, being consistently on the podcast and being reliable gets me the best compliments ever. Mm-hmm.
As they say in life, the best ability is availability.
Damn, get that on a shirt.
Oh yeah. It's Dreamo seems to have succumbed to the pokey flu. We were chatting to him in the early hours of this morning, and between Route 2 and Route 11 or whatever it might have been, he has lost his voice in a fierce battle with one of them little corgi Pokémon, and we don't know where he's at now. Probably licking his wounds after losing to just a random sort of generic grass-based Pokémon after that corgi fight. So yeah, it's just the A team. Dreamo, we'll see you next week. Hopefully, just get good, mate. But yeah, we're here. 173 Saturday morning, Friday afternoon. The sun is shining. It is hot as balls here in Queensland. Like, it is peak bushfire season across the whole country at the moment, which is really scary because it's not even summer.
Oh, it's been horrifying to see from over the States, like how out of control. I don't think I've witnessed the bushfires in Australia this bad since bloody years now, personally anyway. But
yeah, and it's happening earlier. Like, it's not even sort of that sort of January time when it's sort of the hottest part of the year. So I'm really scared to see what happens over Christmas and New Year as far as where these sort of fire concerns elevate themselves towards, because yeah, it is bonkers at the moment. Like, there's been 4 or 5 people have passed away in these fires. Like, hundreds of houses have been burnt down. Like, hundreds of thousands of hectares of ground. And I don't know if you saw, obviously, you wouldn't get all the local news of what's happening here back your way, but a lot of these fires, as they always are started by bloody kids and teenagers.
Really?
So I'm just happy they've actually caught a few of them this year, and they're going to sort of take them through the youth legal system and get them in the according amount of trouble, which is good because, there's people's lives, their livelihood, their possessions. It's all, it's gone. And it's terrifying. It really is. Like, I was in Canberra for the Canberra bushfires, and my partner at the time, her family lost their house in those bushfires. And I remember driving around Canberra, and it was like we were in the apocalypse. Like, it was this black and blood red sky just everywhere. It was insane. So I can only imagine how it's like going through it again with some of these people in these more rigid environments that seem to be battling these elements year after year.
Yeah, it's just a horrible circumstance, and especially, if it does get worse, especially over the holiday season, it's a million times bad. Like, people are driving around, they're trying to see family, and then sometimes people get stranded. The last major bushfires that I experienced, I decided to head down south of New South Wales, and I ended up getting evacuated in Sussex Inlet.
Oh, damn.
And yeah, and we were actually evacuated because the only road out of Sussex Inlet was covered in fire. So technically we were screwed.
Yeah, and fire is so unpredictable. Like, it's just this element that just has a mind of its own. Like, you watch it, the way it moves and jumps and sort of just dances across everything. Like, it's terrifying. So I, hat off to all the firefighters, full-time volunteer or otherwise, because it's terrifying seeing what these people have to go through to try and keep these people safe. But we're getting a lot of love, and I think we've had a few international sort of firefighting agencies come across, some from the United Kingdom and America, and to get involved and help out. But summer's going to be very scary over here, I think.
Yeah, hopefully any of our listeners, if you're in close to those circumstances, just remember to stay safe and like no possession is worth the risk, and just keep you and your loved ones safe.
100%. Like if you hear the evac go, like don't be, I'm going to stay and save my house and keep it watered down with a hose. Just follow what the experts say, because you can always get more possessions, and it's just not worth the risk. No way, no how.
Dang.
Yeah, but I guess on a more positive note, what have you been doing? Like, what have you been playing? I see you've watched something that I'm absolutely chomping at the bit to get amongst, but Disney Plus still not here in Australia as at time of recording on the 16th of November. I think we've got 3 days for it to come out.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize there was such a big gap. I think Australia is next week you said, and I believe the United Kingdom is like 2 weeks or 3 weeks away or something that I thought I read online, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Like I obviously had watched the series, and I wasn't going to say anything about it just out of respect for spoilers, but holy crap, even media outlets are just so inconsiderate that the first episode people are already spoiling it. They spoiled it within 2 days.
I've somehow avoided spoilers for it, which I feel like I'm Neo in the Matrix dodging these spoilers, because comb Twitter or whatever and you'll see something pop up and be like, no, look away, keep scrolling, look away. But so I'm still blank canvas with this. Still extremely excited to see what they've done for it, especially just I saw on, I think it might have been your Instagram story where you sort of gave your closure, and it was like, fantastic episode, can't wait. Completely paraphrasing, but it was extremely positive feedback, and I'm like, yes, bring it on.
Well, it's definitely a subject that I've actually had with a few other fans of the Star Wars series who have maybe felt a bit kind of like let down or exhausted by the current like state of the Star Wars franchise, more specifically the movies and the Skywalker drama kind of stuff that we've been kind of pulled along through. So I've personally kind of just felt really down about it, and I was really hoping that this series was going to pick me back up. And so far, episode 1 has definitely picked me back up. I can't wait to watch episode 2. There's a lot of things in there that are just like great. There's a lot of references in there. There's a very specific reference that's kind of just mentioned in passing at the start, which actually makes nod to the Christmas special that Mrs. Skywalker
that ill-fated one from the 80s.
Yeah, so there's a lot of great elements into it. Quality-wise, it feels like a movie. Like it feels like I think it goes for roughly an hour from what I remember. So it's just like movie quality series, and it has that Western vibe that you've been kind of seeing with all the like promotional stuff, and it has it, but it's not really in your face. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting to see how this goes, and I really like the idea that episodes are going to feature different directors. So it should be good to see how like different directors and how that kind of also affects how the story will get translated. So exciting times.
I can't wait for it. Like I'm all about space westerns and bounty hunters and this whole world that they're going to be creating, and I'm just so excited. And I'm hoping, because by the time this Disney Plus kicks into gear in Australia, the second episode should hypothetically be available. So I should
really
be able to get it back to back.
Guys, it's pretty unfortunate. I believe that we're getting another drop of an episode today in America. So, they just need to hurry up and give it to the other countries, because spoilers are just everyone's dropping them.
Yeah. So what's your overall feeling so far with Disney Plus? Is it a worthwhile investment? You think there's enough content on there to sort of justify the what is it? I think it's $8 Australian for us over here, or $9 Australian. It's nothing too exuberant compared to some of these others.
Yeah, we've kind of got a plan here with a TV streaming service called Hulu. So you kind of get both in a pack, and with the ESPN as well.
Nice.
Weird combo that, but so in regards to paying for Disney Plus and what content it has on there, I got to say that I tried it right on launch, and it was broken as hell. naturally the first thing I went for was actually The Simpsons, because they're going to have all the episodes
30
of Simpsons.
seasons, yeah.
Yes.
It's bananas.
And unfortunately, that was not working at all. Everything was kind of broken. But last night I actually went through and I noticed that everyone else is kind of creating their watch list. And I was going through the content and I was just like, like, okay, a few familiar movies from like the past, like, you know, your classics, your Mighty Ducks, a Goofy movie, like those sort of things, and a few of the Disney movies that were locked up in the vault, so now you'll have access to it whenever you want. A few little cartoon animated series. You got the X-Men series. You got a few Marvel series.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so that's cool. But overall, I felt like I went through the list pretty quickly. And I know this is going to be like a no duh kind of situation, but it felt very juvenile, like a lot of the content that was in there, a lot of the filler, a lot of stuff that definitely wasn't from my generation. Probably someone maybe 5 years younger than me, I don't know, but 5 years younger than me might be a bit more familiar with, like, you know, your High School Musical.
Yeah, and like That's So Raven and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, that
where
sort
it's
of
like,
stuff.
Yeah, I was past that.
Even Stevens and I think, and I've also come to realize that I thought Australia pretty much got a good decent amount of anything that was released in America. Oh boy, did we not. We missed out on a lot.
Yeah.
So
it seems like it's almost that like early adopter feel where it's like, yeah, you're at the ground floor, you're feeling good, you're a card carrying member of Disney Plus, but it's certainly the future is what's to get excited about. All that sort of Marvel exclusive content, you know, the Loki show and the Falcon and Winter Soldier show and things like that, all those shows that are coming, and like, you know, She-Hulk and, you know, Miss Marvel
Hawkeye.
And things. Yeah, Hawkeye as well. Like, I think that's the real exciting period for Disney Plus, but you're just getting in early to say, man, I got your back, Disney. It's as if they need the money, but like, yeah, I'm in. I'm experiencing some of that nostalgia, scratching that X-Men cartoon itch, because that's what I'm going to be about. I'm going to sit Arch down and show him that, and hopefully it sinks in, because he's all about Teen Titans Go. This is a bit darker than Teen Titans Go, but it's one of my fondest childhood memories is watching X-Men in the mornings on Cheese TV before school.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is that there's actually a lot of stuff that they put on there, and they're like, oh, this will actually be available. I posted one last night. National Treasure 1 is not available until like April 2020, because obviously some other company has the rights to it right now.
Yeah.
So there is a few items.
You want your Nicolas Cage now.
I was ropeable. I'm like, two's good, but number one's the best. So yeah, there is actually a few items on there where they've actually said, this isn't available now. It will be. Honestly, if you're a Disney fan or you've got like kids or, you know, you've got a young family, I definitely think you'll benefit from it because it's endless. Oh, and the Jeff Goldblum show.
Is it great?
It's great for its quirkiness. Like, Jeff is on another universe, and just watching him interact with people, there is a lot of honesty about his interactions, which I actually really enjoy. So that's another thing that people could probably take aboard. Like,
and the first episode he did was like a sneaker culture one, right?
Yeah, sneaker culture. I'm like, how could you evolve on like this topic? But he did, and it was really good. It was really sincere. He's really sincere with the topic. So I look forward to, I think the next one's Ice Cream. So
yeah. I just love him. He's just got this wholesome quality about him, doesn't he? Where
he does. Completely like, just what you see is what you get, and there's, you know, nothing in between really. So, if you're thinking about getting Disney Plus, I know that there's a trial. They do like a 7-day trial, but obviously watch your credit card, because after that, they'll take your money. Try it out. See if it's worth your time. Like you kind of mentioned, maybe right now it's a bit thin, and I say a bit thin, but it's probably in contrast to like Netflix. But later down the line, there's definitely going to be a bunch of more content they're going to be dropping. So
yeah, I just want them all to amalgamate into one and just have one platform, one monthly fee, because I'm scrolling on my smart telly and it's like I've got Netflix app, I've got a Stan app, I've got an Amazon Prime app, I've got a Foxtel app, I'm going to have a Disney Plus app, never going to have Apple TV app because or Apple Plus or whatever they're calling it now, just because I know none of the stuff on there seems to be too appealing at the moment. I think like that Newsroom show is apparently a bit of a dud. C looks interesting with Jason Momoa, but he seems to just play these period type actors in every single show he's in. Like he's in that one about like the sort of the pelting industry in like the 1800s. Do you see that one that was keeping
I
around?
think so. Yeah.
And it feels just like that, but now he's blind in the same show. So
just remember Stargate Atlantis.
yes, when he was clean shaven back in them days too, wasn't he? Oh well, he was clean shaven in Baywatch.
Was he in Baywatch?
Yeah, short hair too. Short hair, no beard. Still a handsome rooster, but these days he's like ascended into just modern day handsome god status. Like, yeah, he's just beasting these days. But yeah, I'll have some feedback on Disney Plus this week, and I can't wait to watch some Mandalorian. Unrelated note, real quick, did you watch RuPaul this week? So
no,
do you know who's in the final three?
But I know who went out because Instagram's a bitch.
Yeah. When you watch, like, we won't talk deep about it right now, but like, wait until you see the end, because it was one of these rigged producer-based decisions. It feels like I don't think who went should have went in any way, shape, or form. Oh,
I will now be interested, because I know who went, and I was kind of like, it makes sense, like, but okay.
Yeah, you'll see. But yeah, so I've been playing a bucket load of things this week. I've been traveling, put a couple more hours into Death Stranding over the weekend. But most importantly, I've sunk my teeth into the Pokemon hysteria train at the moment. Obviously, it came out yesterday here for us in Australia, or everywhere in the world yesterday. Friday for us in Australia. Picked up Pokemon Sword. So we had a bit of a fierce back and forth discussion between myself and Dream about which iteration of Pokemon are we grabbing. So I've grabbed Sword. I think Dream grabbed Shield. And,
and I've got Sword.
You're still TBC.
Mine's in the universe somewhere. It's out there. When I get it, I'll get it. So I'll probably be playing it over the weekend. Yeah.
So we've all decided to pick a different starter each as well. So we've got like a little bit of a Hungry Gamers Pokemon rivalry going on. So you've landed Sobble, the little crying salamander, little sad lizard, water type. Dream is Grookey, the grass-based monkey, little rhythm monkey with his little drumstick, and then I've got Scorbunny, who is the fire rabbit. So that's our three starters. We're going to sort of battle periodically when we get to certain levels and sort of touchstones in the game, which is pretty exciting. I'm really, really enjoying this so far. I've only probably put maybe 4 hours. I say only. It's only been out for a day. I've only put probably 3 to 4 hours in. So
I only put 24 hours into it. Just it's still early days.
just dipped a toe, but really liking it. Like this Galar region that you're sort of traversing in this universe as your little male or female Pokemon character is really pretty. A lot of sort of farmlandy sort of vibes in the first regions you're running through. Meet a lot of the new Pokemon, like you see Wooly, and you see, I always forget the little Corgi Pokemon's name. You meet him and a couple of new bugs, and almost like this sort of serious looking Squirtle Pokemon. So I've caught, I think, 45, I think, unique now in the 4 hours or so I've been playing. Pokemon of all walks of life, all elements, all levels of detail too. Obviously, we've talked long and hard about some of the Pokemon models themselves being a little lackluster, feeling like they've got the intern to create these on a lunch break, but overall you get a lot of variety, all kinds of elements. You've got your ghost types, you've got your electrics, you've got your rocks, your grass, your ground, you name it, you played a Pokemon, you'll know what to expect in that regard. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I've got 2 gym badges so far. So I've taken down Milo, who is the grass-based gym leader, and Nessa, who is the water-based gym leader. Taken those 2 down, so I've got 2 badges. So now I can catch Pokemon, obviously up to level 30. Sadly, in the Wildlands area, there is a lot of Pokemon above that. So I just have to fight them for the XP as opposed to adding them to the party. But I'm really enjoying it. I got a pretty diverse makeup. A lot of my Pokemon have been evolving. My Scorbunny's evolved already. He's sitting at about level 35 now, I think, where the rest of my Pokemon are high level 20s after that 4-hour sort of playthrough. Really enjoying it, though. The world's very unique. The battles are great. The Dynamax system is sick, so you can obviously turn your Pokemon into a skyscraper, Titan-esque Pokemon, which is fantastic. So I'm really enjoying that variety and that sort of option that you get in these gym battles or just battles in general. The Dynamax battles out in the Wildlands is fantastic, where you can try and catch some of these Dynamax equipped Pokemon and get a heap of bonuses, a heap of little rare candies or little small XP boosts and things. So yeah, there's certainly a lot to keep you busy, keep you going back and grinding as you make your way in the world to be the very best. It's really cool. You've got your rival named Hop in this one, so
you don't get to name your rival.
No, well, either that or I skipped through it. But his name's Hop. I didn't see any option, and his brother is named Leon, and he's like the undefeated Pokemon League champion. Like he was
the
yet
guy
to
with
lose.
the cape, right?
So obviously that's the story trajectory here, where you're trying to become the Pokemon League champion, dethrone Leon, who is this dude with like purple hair and a cape and this weird like chin strap goatee thing. It's they don't do facial hair very well in the Pokemon world. But anyway, that's a minor gripe. But yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool. I'm having fun. It's good to have a more complex capture system again. Like obviously with Let's Go, it was you can just throw a Pokeball and so you don't have to wear them down. You don't have to knock their stamina down or their HP down to low levels to be able to make them more catchable. It's just, toss your balls and have some fun. So I'm enjoying that there's a little bit more depth and maturity to the game again. The battling seems pretty good. The Gigamaxing or the Gigantamaxing and the Dynamaxing is just bananas. Seeing these big skyscraper Pokemon doing battle and things like that is pretty cool. First few hours in, for just anyone wondering, you can actually get your Let's Go Eevee or Let's Go Pikachu equivalent in a Gigantamax for free from someone at one of the train stations, just as long as you've got previous save history of one of those games showing that you've owned it or played it. So just be wary of chatting to a gentleman in the train station the first few hours in like the Wildlands area, I think it was. So yeah, grab that so you can add that to your little party. But I'm really digging it. Like it's more of the same. Obviously, they're not reinventing the Poke Wheel here. It's more of the Pokemon you've come to love. It's just really pretty. Like it is the best looking Pokemon game I've ever seen. And obviously it's on the strongest platform it's ever been on. But like, just the draw distance when you're roaming around these areas, the sort of Pokemon animations, the character models are really nice. It's really nice and vibrant as you'd expect. You've got your gyms, you've got your Poké-centers and everything else that you're aware of. Anyone that's played a Pokemon game in its form over the years will know what to expect with this, I think. So yeah, but it's so nice. It's so nice and fun and just relaxing.
Yeah,
it's just cruising. You just you just lose time in games like this. Like hours upon hours just go out the door because you're just grinding or trying to catch them all or just enjoying this region, this sort of UK-inspired, nice green, lush region. It's very pretty.
Yeah, well, like this is the first time that they've really got that open landscape area, right, where there's free roaming Pokemon and you can just like run through. Normally, we're pretty used to structured pathways. Yeah.
So you've still got like your path-based systems, obviously, where they've fenced in a lot of areas and you're just sort of following the traditional routes or going off into the tall grass to battle and catch and things like that. But yeah, it is less railed than it has been and gives you that element of choice where you can explore certain regions if they are open or you have the abilities to, cut grass down or whatever it might be to get through. But yeah, it's so good. And I really love my little score bunny. I nicknamed him because I think we said we had to nickname them all. So I sat on that for a good 5 minutes trying to work out what to name him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, his name is ASAP Hoppy. I've settled with. Not the best, but I wanted something like rabbit related, and then I'm like hopping related, hip hop. Okay, let's go down this vein. I sat for a minute and what can we do here? And yeah, so ASAP Hoppy is his name. He's badass. He runs roughshod through most, and haven't had a Pokemon faint yet. So I'm just just flexing my way through the Galar region, just crushing ass. So it's so good though. I'm loving it, and I'm just loving everything about this game so far.
I'm looking forward to actually playing it in the sense that I don't play a lot of games in handheld mode, but Pokemon is definitely one of the more easy to translate, especially in handheld mode and on the TV as well. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to get my copy wherever it is.
Yeah. Just Amazon, sort your nonsense out and get the copies to Miss Hart ASAP.
Yeah, figure your shit out. Now I've got to come up with a clever nickname.
Yeah,
see if I can...
I sat and thought pretty hard about it. Like, I'm curious to see what Dreams named his little Grookey. It's probably just going to be like Green Monkey or something like that. He's named it, like, or something strange. But we'll see. But I'm excited to do these sort of periodic battles we're going to do when we get to certain levels and milestones to see where we are. Because at the moment, I'm strong against Dream, you're strong against me, and then Dream's good against you. If you look at sort of the main elements or types of Pokemon we are, so.
There's fire water. I'm really bad at Pokemon, but I'll give it my darnest.
And that's all you can hope for. You know, look at Ash Ketchum. He's only just finally won it all after like 20 odd years of trying.
Yeah.
There's hope for us yet.
Oh God.
So I see one other thing you've been playing, which I'm not going to get involved in myself, but I'm definitely intrigued and kind of interested from what I've seen on the socials.
Yeah.
What you been playing?
Minecraft Earth. Now, it's, as far as I'm aware, it's still beta, but Minecraft Earth is like AR. It's got a lot of elements that remind me of Pokemon Go, but in the same sense, it's essentially walking around, picking up resources. So kind of like if you're familiar with the Pokemon Go or the like Harry Potter kind of app where you're walking around your streets, like, you know, it's using the maps and showing you where you are on your street, and, you know, you can find stone, grass, trees, like your typical Minecraft characters as well, like your cows and chickens and everything, and you collect them. And then once you're done with that, you can build, you can create things, you can make glass and all the other stuff. And then there's an element where you go into building mode, and that's when the AR really comes into it, where, you know, you could be just in your bedroom, you could be out in a park, but then you can actually place your little Minecraft, you know, little 8x8 at the moment map in like real life, like right in front of you. You can see it, and you can build it on your phone, and you can also build with friends. So you share your friend code, so your friend can work on the same map as you, and you'll see your friend on the other side picking up dirt, placing a building and everything like that, putting a block down, and you're building together. And right now it's very simple and it's very early stages. I have been playing it every day to see if anything changes or I get anything more out of it, but at this stage it's cool, but is it worth anything? They already got like microtransactions in it.
Of course.
So yeah, if you want a bigger map, if you want a different style map, a different terrain, or so they've got like rubies, and you buy rubies if you just want to.
Yeah, and it's not like Mojang's short on the money. Like,
No.
Like we've sort of got some numbers that I guess we'll just throw in here now and not worry about in the quick hitters. Like on mainstream Minecraft, there's 300 million registered accounts in China alone, and on average, there's 112 million monthly active users worldwide on Minecraft, which is just insane. You know, that's 3.5 times the entire population of Australia playing this game every month. Like, yeah, Microsoft, Mojang, they are just laughing all the way to the bank with this game.
Just imagining the guy that created Minecraft and just like I was watching a history about it and how it first started as a game that used to play in the browser, and it was so simplified, just to see how it is now. And I mean, hey, they've already got me. I'm already playing it on my Switch. Now I'm playing it on my phone, and the addiction's real. So Pokemon should be a good change of scenery.
Yeah, it'd be a nice little distractor away from all things Minecraft. But
yeah,
you think Minecraft Earth's got some staying potential? You think it's going to hang around and become something relevant?
It's really cool going into AR mode and just seeing what you've built, like their like in your house, like on your floor right there, and you can walk around it, and you can like look under the tree. You can actually go into your little house that you've built and like look around kind of thing. That's really cool.
That is kind of cool, yeah.
But right now they only give you just a very small base, and you know, materials are very scarce and few. If you're a hermit like me and you don't get out much, then you really don't experience much. But right now, early stages. So I think it only came out at the start of this week. So I think I've been playing it for roughly a week. So maybe as the weeks go on, they'll, you know, add more, unlock more, fix up a few things. Just see how it goes. It's cool. It's exciting, but very early.
Yeah. It's certainly like piqued my interest, but I just, don't think I can invest in yet another game, yet another addiction, yet another distraction. And the microtransactions, that's my kryptonite. It's like, I want a house made fully of diamond or something. So I'll just drop like $1,000 and have a diamond house. Like, so no, can't do it. I'm just going to live through everyone else.
In your actual house.
Yeah. Yeah. My Minecraft house is better and more functional than my real house or something. Like, no, can't do it. Can't do it. All right, quick bit of housekeeping. 8bitnation.net as your central hub for all things 8-bit and all things promotional and competitions and what have you. So 8bitnation.net, and you'll see on there a link for Win Some Stuff, which will link you then to our current Gleam promotion, which we're giving away an Audio-Technica gaming headset, copy of Death Stranding, as well as some 8-bit swag. There's also links there to our 8-bit web store, which is weare8bit.storeenvy.com. Sadly, the jewelry is not going to happen. I've just done some designs on it, and I didn't like how they came out. So no really cheap necklaces and bracelets. But we do have thongs or flip-flops on the web store now. They look fan-freaking-tastic. And just proofed and signed off on the draft of the 8-bit bum bag. So they're going to be on there this week. But there's also some new bomber jackets on there. There's a new all-over Craig T-Rex head tee on there as well. So, we're8bit.storeenvy.com. But to make it easier, 8bitnation.net. That's your central hub where you can get access to all the new invites, direct links to supporters via Patreon, as well as the web store, and also a link to our new Facebook group on there that we want to try and get off the ground, maybe shift away from that Discord sort of subculture and maybe get on the Facebook. So, 8bitnation.net for all that. And when you're done checking that out, maybe send us a nice cheeky review and rating on the iTunes or whatever podcast hosting platform you're listening to. But that leads us nicely into this
iTunes Review of the Week.
And this review headline actually reads iTunes Review of the Week. And it comes via way of Najam Yer Mam. And this review was submitted to us on the 3rd of November. 5 stars. So thank you, Najam Yer Mam. And the review reads, Dream's dreamy voice is all I need to start off my Monday. The others ain't too bad either. Get some of this pork on your forks. Fantastic review. Fantastic
Sam,
review.
stop putting in reviews for yourself, mate.
Yeah. Najam Yer Mam. We've just worked out Dream's Apple handle. But no, thank you, Najam.
Thank you.
I appreciate that 5-star review. And no doubt Dream, even though he is voiceless right now, would be smiling from his bed or the doctor's office or wherever he is right now. Who knows? But Dream's dreamy voice is all you need to start off your Monday, apparently.
Yeah, so you would have been actually really disappointed if you tried to attempt the podcast today. So it's probably a good thing he gave it a rest.
Yeah.
Also enjoy the pork on your fork reference.
Very underrated quote, that one. Very underrated saying. Obviously, it's part of the marketing material here in Australia about eating more white meat. Pork's really good for you, so on and so forth. So get some pork on your fork. I don't know if you hear any of that type of slang or sort of catchphrase over in the States about pork. It's more of a beef country anyway, isn't it?
No, they're into their bacon. But that's about as far as it goes. There's no major pork and no lamb.
Oh, God, I
get
love
my
lamb
over here.
I love lamb. Love a good lamb roast. But Najam Yer Mam, thank you for the review. Thank you for the sneaky 5 stars as well. These reviews on these various podcast hosting outlets, especially Apple Podcasts or iTunes, help keep the emotional lights on in our hearts. So keep them coming, 8-Bit Nation. But be sure to also do the same to all the other podcasts you listen to on the daily or the weekly, because it means an awful lot to us and it helps keep us tracking, helps keep us relevant. You know, I say this week in, week out. But thank you, Najam, and thank you for the other future iTunes reviews coming our way. But let's get into some news.
This week's news headlines.
All right, a couple of quick hitters to start things off. And this is a direct quote from Lauren Schmidt-Hisrich, who is the showrunner at The Witcher. I'm so thrilled that before fans have even seen our first season, we are able to confirm that we'll be returning to the continent again and continue telling the stories of Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri. So what that means in essence is The Witcher has been renewed for a second season, a month and a half out before the first season has even aired. So Netflix are really confident that this is going to be a winner, and they're throwing their money behind everyone involved with The Witcher. I'm personally over the moon for this because I can't speak highly enough of this show and the Witcher universe. So knowing that we're going to get 2 seasons of this at a minimum, hell to the yeah indeed.
They must have gotten the major clicks after that the recent trailer they released where we all got the bath scene that I'm sure most of us have been waiting for.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It just must have doubled in view numbers. And
Enhance.
Netflix was just
Enhance.
Enhance. So they must have just gone, this is obviously worth our time and money.
Yeah. So that's great news. Some more quick hitter news. Call of Duty Mobile was downloaded 148 million times in its first month, which puts it second all-time behind Niantic's Pokémon Go. This is based on Sensor Tower's estimates and numbers. It was also a strong debut month in terms of revenue, with an estimated $53.9 million in US in sales. The highest single day in that respect was on October 5th, where players spent $3.1 million USD. So Call of Duty Mobile, completely off my radar. Not going to install, not going to play it. Know little about it, but that hunger for COD is real. 148 million downloads in a month. By golly.
I know exactly who's playing it too. I had a lot of friends when I used to work in the office environment where they didn't really have a console or they really didn't have a PC, but by having these kind of games, like when PUBG was on mobile, or still is, they were for it. They were really into it. It was crazy seeing some of the numbers my friends were showing me of their stats, and I'm like, oh, you play on console? And they're like, no, this is mobile. And I'm like,
that explains why you're getting 10 kills a match.
Yeah. 1v1 me on PC, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know exactly who's actually buying this game.
I know a couple as well. One of my customers who's actually got a beast gaming PC, and I played full-fledged pub with him once or twice. Actually just plays PUBG Mobile all the time now anyway. So, I know the target market, but they're onto yet another winner. 148 million downloads within the first month. All right, the next little quick hitter. Apple is working on a combined VR and AR headset for release sometime in 2021 or 2022 that will focus on gaming as well as video and attending virtual meetings.
Oh, wow.
The headset has been in the works for a while and it was intended for a 2019 release initially, but has had to be pushed back. So Apple throwing their hat in the ring, trying to compete with Facebook, with Oculus and HTC Vive and the like. What do you think of this? Do you want to attend some virtual meetings while wearing your gaming headset?
Are you kidding? This is so cool. This is futuristic bullshit that we usually see in movies. The one that I can think of is The Kingsman. I think the second one, no, both of them actually. They're all sitting at a meeting table, but they're all in their respective countries and stuff. So they're virtually there and they're experiencing the environment, but they're also not there.
Yeah.
This is great. This is psychotic and scary. I love it.
Yeah, it's next level. Gone are the things in the center of the conference room having a conference call where there's just a 4-way speaker in there with a push button. It's we're going to be augmenting ourselves into that office complex and sitting there. Just need to be mindful if it's going to be doing full body cap. If you're working from home, just make sure you got some clothes on. I've done a few video conference calls over the years where I've been working from home, and I'll chuck a business shirt on, but underneath that I'm probably still in my undies. So just make sure you don't stand up and have to leave at short notice. You've got to be very aware of your surroundings at all times.
Yeah. No, I this is pretty cool. Although unfortunately it'll just be more reason for one of those, meetings that could have been an email. Now there's just going to be more meetings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. it's going to be meetings on top of meetings. Productivity is going to drop. And at least we're going to look at each other from across the globe doing it in our underwear and dress shirts. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, we'll see what happens with this headset. No doubt we'll get some more information and some maybe an initial trailer or see the product in its beta form next year. But yeah, Apple getting involved. Maybe this is Apple Arcade will translate to this. Apple Arcade in VR. That'd be pretty cool. And the last quick hitter. A new Mass Effect game is reportedly in, quotes, very early development at BioWare Edmonton. As reported by Kotaku, the project is being headed by a longtime series producer, Mike Gamble. There are no further details on the potential game at this time, but yeah, I'm meeting this with hesitation, that's for sure. Obviously, Andromeda out in 2017 broke many a Mass Effect's fan person's heart, mine included. But if they go back to grassroots and go back to what made this franchise so great, I'll give you another go. You know, once bitten, twice shy, but I still love BioWare. I still love Mass Effect. So let's see what comes of this.
I hate these kind of like half-ass reports though. Like there might be something happening. Can't confirm it. Might not be happening, but something might be happening. It's like they just don't report it.
Yeah, cover all bases.
Teasers like that.
Because if it is right, they'll be like, you heard it here first 2 years ago. But if it was wrong, it was like, oh, it's just a rumor. Don't worry. You know?
Just threw a dart at a dartboard and we just got Mass Effect.
Yeah. But it's interesting. Obviously, they're completely rebuilding Anthem at the moment, like almost stripping it right back and building it back up to try and get some life out of this franchise. But bizarrely enough, I saw some figures the other day. Anthem is the 8th highest selling game in the US in 2019. So it's the number 8.
Is that based on how much like money sales or just how many purchases? Because Anthem has been dropped down to $7 is the cheapest I've heard.
Yeah, I think it's based off volume. So yeah, I've seen it even here in Australia at like Big W for like $15 and stuff. Like, so yeah, it's not really a money spinner, but the units are moving, and it would be interesting to see if that spike does follow off the back of this, like the price of the game just getting cut down to next to nothing. So,
definitely worth $7.
yeah, like it was all right. Like it was
a good looking game. There was a concept there that was just, they just didn't execute it, and it was very repetitious. So $7 is a steal. If you didn't play it and you're in the States, or you know, if it's even cheaper in Australia, it's worth that money just to try it out.
Yeah, but we'll see over the next few months. There's going to be some pretty big changes going on in that game, that universe. So we'll see if it's for the better and if it maybe has a secondary swing at trying to get a decent attach rate and build that community up, because they wanted this to be a games of service that lived on for years, and it was almost dead the second it walked out the door. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, so they are the quick hitters, and our sort of focus discussion for this week as far as news goes is I thought we could talk about XO19, which was showcased this past week over in London.
London.
And there was a lot of info. Did you watch the whole thing, or did you sort of just drop in and out and watch some of the announcements, or what was your initial thoughts before we jump into some of these individual recaps?
So, I forgot that it was on.
Me too.
Then,
I woke up at 6 a.m. or whatever, and I saw. I think it might have been Shannon from Press Start was like live tweeting about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's on today. Oh
yeah,
okay.
I think Greg posted Game Over Greg. He posted something about it. I was like, oh shit. So I loaded it up, and I don't know how far into it was. I think I caught it early, but they were right in the middle of one of those really awkward interviews. You know how they just insist on doing these interviews with people who either have no person skills, no interview skills, and it's really, really hard to watch.
Yeah.
And I had things to do, so I kind of just figured, I'm like, all right, I'll turn that off, and I guess I'll just watch the trailers after. I feel bad, but
yeah, I get you. Like, it's very much like 90s, early 2000s, a lot of that. Like when you see the old presses and the old events where it was very much a lot of introverts on stage trying to, quote things like rad and gnarly and try and be hip. Like, and I get it. Like, you want to show the creators, the people behind these great new games and IPs, and give them some visibility and presence, because they are the ones working behind the scenes, smashing these things out. But yeah, when they aren't really trained in PR and marketing and being personable, it does make it tough. And I wonder if that impacts games as well, like the games they're selling as well. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
It could. It's getting to this stage now where, you know, like this is a powerful, big industry now. Like, maybe certain groups need to just consider that there needs to be just one person who's articulate and knows how to handle conversations and interviews and such. It needs to be almost like a face of either a game company, publisher, brand. And then whenever, you know, an interview needs to be done, educate them, update them, make sure that they're fully, you know, educated in what's happening, what's going on, and let them be the face of the game and the company.
And then maybe have the other people just revert to like dev diaries that a lot of them do on YouTube and things, where it is a more controlled environment and it's pre-recorded and they can edit it and clean it up the way they want it to get that clear, concise message out there. So
exactly. If you're in these, like, you know, Xbox events, PlayStation events, Nintendo events, and you are essentially trying to get people hyped up about your game, but if it's a boring interview, like, most of us would probably have switched off. I did.
Yeah,
but,
I do.
You know.
I do. Like, everyone deserves their time in the spotlight, but yeah, I think when it is maybe a debut for a game, for example, you want that sizzle, you want that hype and that, like, whoa,
engagement,
that big moment.
yeah.
But when someone's out there where maybe English isn't their native language, you know, things can get lost in translation, or the nerves can set in because there's a live audience watching these people. Like, it's daunting. Like, anyone that's spoken in front of a crowd before knows that it can go south real quick, and you got to try and keep your composure and deliver that message. But, you know, power to them all for getting in front of the camera and whatever, because it's not easy. But
exactly, like, kudos to them, because, like, I know I couldn't do anything like that. So
yeah,
it
you
takes
could.
Without crapping myself. But, like, it does take, like, a nerves of steel to even just do that initial step. I'm not, you know, having a go at them for the fact that they're trying and, you know, putting themselves out there. I just think when it comes to hype, when it comes to trying to get engagement about something that you're trying to sell and get people excited about, it might just be time to make sure you have someone on stage representing and engaging the audience. Yeah,
I'm with you there. So maybe we can sort of rattle off some of the games and announcements that were highlighted at XO19. And it started off with a reveal from Rare. The studio has been working on a brand new project for Xbox One called Everwild, and showed an ethereal forest full of unique creatures. An older woman communes with the animals. There were very few details beyond that, like specific mechanics or an actual release date. But Rare getting a chance to make a new game, I think, is great. Obviously, they are throwing a lot of time and money and investment behind Sea of Thieves. And they did hint and sort of emphasize that Everwild would be another sort of living game where it is a evolving platform like a Sea of Thieves, where you can jump on and play with, I think it also is like up to 3 friends, so you can party up and sort of explore this Everwild universe and meet all these unique creatures. But it's very pretty, nice art style.
It was a beautiful trailer. It was really good looking, but I did, like, finish watching the trailer and going, so what game is it? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, what kind of game is it? It's pretty, but, like, I kind of need to know what kind of game this is. Like, what should I expect?
Yeah. The next one was a bit of a surprise for me. So it was Grounded, and it's Obsidian Entertainment's first game under the Xbox Game Studios label. Obviously, Obsidian most recently just released The Outer Worlds. Too much critical fanfare. And their new game and their debut for Xbox is Grounded, and it's not an RPG. Instead, the studio revealed Grounded is a survival game where your character has been shrunk to tiny size, like Ant-Man. Grounded is a mix of survival and building mechanics where either a single player or a cooperative squad of 4 fight to thrive in a world where bugs are a threat. It's coming to Game Pass in spring 2020. Xbox game preview, in spring 2020, and then will make its way to Game Pass as well. But who doesn't want to play Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Thank you! Everyone's making Ant-Man references, and I'm just like, hello, this is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah. Where's
it's
Rick
obviously
Moranis?
showing-
Hopefully he's a cameo. Like, he's obviously left Hollywood many, many moons ago and focused on his family, but I'd love to see a Rick Moranis cameo in this.
That would be great. It really shows, like, how far along we are and how some references we might be familiar with are just not even in the scope of, like, the new generation.
Mm-hmm.
So Ant-Man, I guess, is a fine reference. Someone said Ants. Remember that movie,
Oh,
Ants?
yeah. Was that?
Yeah.
No,
Or
Ants-
Bug's Life?
No, Jerry Seinfeld did. I think he was the B movie, right?
Yeah, B movie. I think Ants was Woody Allen, maybe?
Oh, wow.
I think something
Wow.
like self-deprecating kind of ant. But this game looks interesting, and the fact that he said it was a survival game, so like your forest, your 7 days to die, like they said, there's building mechanics in there. So
Yeah, like I think that's sick. Like being a little microscopic version of yourself. Like I just think of obviously Ant-Man's a good one for most recent, but yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where they're walking around and then these single blades of grass look like skyscrapers and things like that. I just imagine traversing that universe and
we get to ride an ant.
Yeah, trying to build like a little house out of like drinking straws and paddle pop sticks or something. Like
Yeah.
yeah, can you tame these ants? Can you tame various insects and make them attack ants or whatever it might be? Like it just sounds kooky and quirky, and being able to play with you and 3 squad mates, I think is pretty cool. So we'll see it next year, but certainly
Keep our
didn't
finger
expect
on
that
the
from
pulse.
Obsidian.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, but it was still cool. It was a pleasant surprise, and it looked pretty. Like the graphics were pretty impressive. So
Yeah.
the next one that got a bit of hype was West of Dead, and it's a top-down shooter set in the fictional town of Purgatory, Wyoming in 1888. And you're a dead cowboy that has to wrangle some of the other spirits into shape. The open beta for West of Dead is available on Xbox right now, and actually Ron Perlman is one of the lead characters in this game. So old Hellboy himself.
Mm-hmm. There was a voice in the trailer, and I'm like, this voice sounds very familiar. I can't put my finger on it. So if that was Perlman himself, it makes a lot of sense. And the music was pretty cool too. In regards to gameplay, though, I don't think this is my cup of tea.
Yeah.
The character looks like Ghost Rider a little bit with the flaming skull, just in a cowboy outfit. But it looked cool. Like I liked the design. That was pretty unique.
Yeah, I want to try and download this sort of beta just to see how it is and just get a bit more feedback for next episode. Because, as we talked about at the start of the episode with Mandalorian, the West and cowboys and stuff like that is great. So we want to turn that into a splice with Ghost Rider and Ron Perlman. Mate, sign me up. I love me some Ronnie P. We saw Ninja Theory's melee focused hero game dropping a brand new trailer. Obviously, Bleeding Edge is coming to Xbox One, Windows 10, and Steam on March 24th of next year. So this is the first game from Ninja Theory since they've been acquired by Xbox as well, and this is their follow-up to Hellblade. Very, very different game, like comparatively.
Very different.
Couldn't be further apart, but looks cool. The characters are pretty zany. The art's got a nice style to it. Like the character models have got a higher level of detail. Melee focused hero combat. Okay, nice differentiator. So I just think of Overwatch just without the guns. That's my thoughts.
It's 4 versus 4, isn't it? Like that's just the gameplay. It's 4 versus 4. So that's also very interesting. Interesting choice. I feel bad because it seems like now, especially with these like kind of battle arena brawlers that they're coming out, it's just no matter what character you see, you're just always going to say like, oh, that looks like Roadhog, or that looks like so and so, or that's, there's a lot of things in these like games now, especially with character design, that are just starting to blend in a little bit, either by accident or just, maybe with a little intention. The characters are quirky. It was good to like hear them, see them interact in this trailer. But I'm still not really kind of like super into it.
Yeah, like I'm assuming this, like the full price of this game on release might be something like $30. It looks like it's just going to be sort of a light on hero brawler. We'll see if it has like builds enough of a community to become relevant, or does it go like Cliffy B's ill-fated IP that he released last year that died after a few months. But we'll see, and it's just cool to see these exclusive IPs that Microsoft now have and these studios that are under that Game Studios banner bringing something real to these presentations and actually show we've got this in development, it's coming out soon, get hyped. So it was a good showing for Microsoft in that regard, I think.
Yeah.
The next one was pretty big though. So Tell Me Why, which is the next game by Don't Nod Entertainment, obviously who is most known for the Life is Strange franchise. Tell Me Why is the story of two twins, Tyler and Allison, who are exploring the fleeting nature of memory. The twins are diving into their memories together, and the player has to determine which set of memories are true. Tell Me Why is coming to Xbox One and PC in summer 2020, and it also features the first ever transgender lead character in a video game. So, yeah, that's no small feat in itself right there. Like it's a very positive development for the LGBTQ community, but also just video games as a whole, just showing that it is becoming much more widely accepted and more open to doing things outside of the paint by numbers leads that we've known in games since video games have existed, really.
Yeah. And obviously, unfortunately in society we live in, obviously having that attached to it will obviously have some kind of, backlash in regards to certain people of the community. But they did kind of get that message across within the trailer. There seems to be a bit of conflict with it as well, just showing snippets of him trying to put memories together in regards to his mother, and you see a shotgun, and I think he utters the line that she always wanted him to always be his little girl. So yeah, like it's certainly going to be a very topical game on release, and definitely
it's a formula that Don't Nod have pretty well perfected with Life is Strange. Like they make a genre of game, and their writers can put together stories that punch in the feels. It gets those emotions churning, and very hard decisions that can obviously ripple through your playtime. So yeah, we'll see more about this no doubt in the coming months. But Tell Me Why, it was a bit of a surprise, and I think it's one of the bigger ones that got people talking from this Xbox event.
Yeah, and there's obviously an already established community that absolutely adores Life is Strange. So I'm sure that they'll just be happy to hop onto this new one. Exactly.
So the next little banger, The Artful Escape, which is Annapurna Interactive. They're bringing out another quirky indie title, and this time it's a psychedelic rock opera starring a hero with a magical guitar making their way across colourful dreamscapes. It's coming out in 2020. Looked great. Don't know a huge amount outside of that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks graphically appealing. All those creature designs looked awesome.
Yeah.
Very unique, very bright colors as well. Annapurna, I still don't know if I'm saying that right. They're the ones that also worked with Sayonara Wild Heart as well. So I'm very curious to see if they're very focused on music, like very music-focused games. The music in this trailer for Artful Escape was pretty epic as well. So yeah, it caught my attention because I love any game that has amazing music. So.
Oh yeah, and anytime I hear the words psychedelic rock opera, I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Tell me more about this psychedelic rock opera, Annapurna. Tell me more.
So it should be interesting to see.
They showcased a lot of Project xCloud heavily in the middle of this presentation, promising more than 50 games in their current preview program. And in 2020, xCloud will be coming to Windows 10 PCs. They had folks behind the streaming service also talking about using alternate controllers, so you can even use your PlayStation DualShock 4 controllers on xCloud if you'd like. Madden NFL 20 is now available on the xCloud preview program as of today as well. And they've also revealed that xCloud is going to be part of Xbox Game Pass in the future. So they're really doubling down on this, and it's a pretty stark contrast to how Google Stadia is going on at the moment. There is so much negativity and backlash towards Stadia at the moment as far as them promising and not delivering, and your releases, like the early adopters not even getting guaranteed equipment on day one and all this stuff. Like, it is a mess.
It is so bad. We've bailed out over here. We're not getting it anymore.
Yep.
It's just like the games that were released, knowing that you're not going to get your controller until like weeks later. The friend pass that they, kind of like lured you in with, that's not available upon like, initial drop, and it's just like all these like empty promises, and there's just too many things. And the fact that they kind of just said, oh, by the way, when you start playing this, it might not be actually good quality.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's bonkers that a company as big as Google have dropped the ball so badly on this. Like, I don't know the reasonings behind the scenes, but like this product had a lot of hype coming when it was first announced, and it's sort of the first next step into the sort of cloud streaming realm for video games, and it feels like they're just going to fall flat on their face straight out of the gate. A lot of ill will with fans, like as you said, like you pay a good amount of money to be an early adopter on this, and they can't even guarantee your controller to arrive on launch. Like, it's going to be a few weeks later. Like, all they can promise you with is, oh, you'll get access to be able to sign up and claim your Stadia ID, your gamer handle. It's like, yeah, cool, man. That shouldn't cost me $500 or whatever. Like,
exactly.
My goodness.
Like, the most common phrase that's being uttered is you're paying to be a glorified like tester.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you are. You're just testing the service for them.
Yeah, and like 12 games on launch, which is next to nothing. They're all current games. Like, there's no new exclusive that's dropping there to get a little bit of sizzle. It's going to be a very, very messy launch, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll comment about it on the Hungry Gamers. Yeah. A couple other quick hitters here. Yakuza is coming to Game Pass.
Yes.
So obviously it was a PlayStation exclusive for many, many moons. PC has got access to a few of them, but now it's coming to Xbox One. So getting Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. And they're all coming to Game Pass sometime in 2020. I think that's a pretty big get because it has been a PlayStation-owned IP for many, many years. On that similar front, Final Fantasy is coming to Xbox in a big, big way. We're talking Final Fantasy 7, 8 Remastered, 9, XHD Remastered, X2, 12, 13, 13.2, and Lightning Returns, all coming to Xbox One and PC. And most of them, I think, or maybe all of them, will be available on Xbox Game Pass. So that's huge. Phil Spencer also told journalists that Final Fantasy 14 is making the transition to Xbox One as well. And it's going to be cross-platform. So you'll be able to play with your PlayStation and PC friends for Final Fantasy 14. So that's pretty big. It's pretty big.
Wild. Especially for like PlayStation exclusive content that's just like all of a sudden available with Microsoft. So that's pretty cool. Yakuza's great. Anyone that never has played a Yakuza game, when it happens, definitely dive into it.
It's so underrated. It's so underrated, that franchise.
So good.
So much better than what's that other game coming out? So much better than Shenmue, which comes out in like a week and no one gives a rat's ass about it. Like, it's bonkers.
Shenmue is like way on the opposite side. I don't even think it's on the same freaking earth.
Yeah, more like Shenpoo, am I right?
Got him.
Ka-chow! All right, Halo Reach will soon be part of the Master Chief Collection. So Reach is coming to Xbox One, Windows 10, and Games Pass on December 3rd of this year. So, 5 weeks away. And Master Chief Collection will be available on Windows 10 and Steam. So get ready to enjoy Halo on PC again. That's pretty big for a lot of Halo purists out there to get Reach part of the collection and then be able to play all these games on their computer. So nice work, Microsoft. Age of Empires 4. Yes. So pre-alpha gameplay of Age of Empires 4 looked fantastic, I must say. My goodness. The gameplay they had was mighty impressive, showed the Mongols and the English as the first two civilizations that you can play. And also the dedicated Age of Empires studio has been established called World's Edge. And Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition is also available now on PC.
Yeah. All that time wasted on these games where I've been playing like just old games like this, and now it's all come back.
Yeah.
Now I'll get to
What's old is new again, or what's old is less old, just slightly remastered.
I was going to say all that practice now will mean I'll get to kick everyone's asses, but it's not going to matter. I still have the worst kind of gameplay when it comes to this. I build base and I don't have an army, so...
Yeah. It's all about the building. I'm all like we've talked about that with Minecraft and stuff, and like SimCity. I just like the building, like building my little community or my city or whatever. I'm all about that. I don't have an interest in going into the underworld and fighting bloody bad enemies and stuff like that. Like, just let me build whatever dream I want to on this landscape here.
Yeah, exactly.
Leave me be. Just leave me with my hammer and nails and let me go. So Crossfire X got a bit of love, which is done through Smilegate Entertainment. And it's a shooter that is huge in Korea. One of the biggest arena shooters in Korea. It's a collaboration between Smilegate, Remedy, and Xbox Game Studios. And it's coming out in 2020, and it will be free to play on Xbox One. No confirmation if it's going to be cross-platform or anything like that. But that's a pretty big get because, Crossfire, or Crossfire X is what this one is going to be, is massive. The Koreans absolutely love it. So it's cool to see Microsoft jumping into the West and trying to grab a couple more of these unique titles such as Crossfire. The next one, Last Stop. It's an adventure game taking place in London with 3 protagonists, John, Mina, and Donna. Looks like there's a bit of body snatching and supernatural shenanigans taking place, but finding out what the deal is will likely be part of the game. It's the latest title from Variable State, the folks behind the indie adventure Virginia, which sort of was that walking simulator that was very much X-Files-esque. Wasn't too bad. I enjoyed Virginia. The game's coming soon, so we don't know when that exactly means, but yeah, it looked interesting. And who doesn't want to get amongst the supernatural and maybe snatch some bodies?
Exactly. Madonna.
All right, last one. Wasteland 3 closed out the show, and Phil Spencer was up there talking about all the excitement of bringing it to the Xbox One. He noted that Xbox One was light on major RPGs this generation, and many of the announcements today were about fixing that. Wasteland 3 moves from the deserts to the frozen wilds of the post-apocalypse, and it's coming out on May 19th, 2020. I haven't really played a Wasteland game. Like, it's isometric top-down. It sort of looks like Diablo, just in the West, or with, like, apocalyptic gun runners. That's sort of the way the...
I thought it was like XCOM. I've got to be honest, I'm not familiar with Wasteland. This was the first I've ever heard of it, and I did watch the trailer briefly. A lot of lead-up. And then at the end, you kind of saw a bit of gameplay, but yeah, don't think this one's for me.
Nah, me either. Like, I've seen it pop up, and I think I've gotten keys for it in like various Humble Bundles and stuff, but yeah, it just does not attach itself to me in any way, shape, or form. But it's a pretty big title somehow. Like, obviously, this is the 3rd game in the franchise, and from what I've seen, it sells reasonably well, and it's got a pretty good community. But I don't know. It's cool that it's jumping from PC across to the Xbox, so I think that's probably a decent get. Will it have much of a sort of fan base build on the Xbox? Who knows? Coming out next year though, May 19th. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And outside of that, a couple other ones. Rust is coming to Xbox, so get ready to see all them swinging dicks. Rust will be out sometime in 2020. Kart Rider Drift is also coming out in 2020. Which is kind of cool. I love me a good kart racer. So we'll see if this can somehow rival Mario Kart. I doubt it, but every platform likes to have them. They need to bring back... What was that kart game called? Mod Nation Races. They need to bring that back on the PlayStation. Did you remember that one?
Remember that? No.
And you could build your own tracks and stuff and customize. It was one of the first kart games that had a real deep level of customization.
I'm sorry, have you played Lego?
Yes,
Lego
I've
Races?
played Lego Races. But Mod Nation Race, I think it was PlayStation 3, or maybe it was 2. Maybe it goes back to like the PS2 days. But it was a cracker.
That one.
Love me some Mod Nation Races. Customize how your little racer looks and your outfits and your kart and your color schemes, and can build sweet tracks. But anyway, Kart Rider Drift coming to the Xbox, and then Rust. So I think it was pretty good. Like XO19, I think it was a pretty good event. no huge blockbusters announced, but Microsoft trying to bring more games to Xbox One, and Xbox Game Pass got a lot of emphasis and a pretty big push.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also good that he's also acknowledging that certain specific game styles are missing from the, like, especially the console. Like, they also put Planet Coaster.
Yes.
On
I
console.
forgot about that. Yeah, Planet Coaster.
So, yeah, there's a lot of games where I'm, like, always interested to see the, like, transition between, like, usually PC, like, mouse and keyboard play, and then seeing it on a console. And I'm like, I guess they can do mouse and keyboard, but, I mean, majority use, like, the controller. So
yeah.
seeing how that gets translated is always interesting.
Yeah, but no, I think it was a good showing from Microsoft overall. Obviously, Project xCloud was a big focus, and as we said, it certainly feels in a better position than Google Stadia does at this time. So watch this space there. But yeah, it was cool. There was a couple of games there like that certainly piqued my interest. I think that the coolest one for me was Grounded. I just think Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in a video game is going to be fantastic. Tell me why, and then probably Everwild were the main three that made me go, oh yeah, I'm keen. I'll play that.
Yeah, Everwild, Grounded, Artful Escape, and maybe I'm like just a tiny bit like slightly interested in Bleeding Edge. I want to see more or know more. I want to see what they're doing with that. Yep.
Yeah, but that's been the news here at the Hungry HQ. Is there anything else you want to say or add before we close this bad boy up for another week?
No, just hope everyone finally gets their hands on Disney Plus and catches up. I apologize for all the spoilers that the Americans are going for, so just stay away from your IGNs and all those other publications because chances are they're gonna spoil the shit. Like, they already have, so just try your best to avoid it or any article about it. And check out the Jeff Goldblum's TV show as well.
Hell yeah. And go check out Terminator Dark Fate, goddammit. It's so good. I'm going to stand on this soapbox until people watch this movie. It's failing at the box office and we're never going to see any more Terminator. Go watch Dark Fate, goddammit. It's fantastic. Schwarzenegger and Hamilton are back. It's a tour de force. It's brilliant. I love it. Terminator Dark Fate, go watch it. And also play Pokemon Sword and Shield and add us on the Nintendo Friend ID thing so we can trade and battle and stuff. Because I need to get some exclusives from Shield because I know Dream probably won't send them to us because he's a prick.
I ain't Shield. Oh, no, don't worry. I'll get us.
Okay.
I'll get us a hookup.
Cool. All right. Well, this has been episode 173 of the Hungry Gamers podcast. Thank you for stopping on by and showing us that love as way of listens, downloads, iTunes reviews, and just general social media support. It means an awful lot to us all here. But yeah, until next week, 8-Bit Nation, where we come back for episode 174. Much love.
Stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.